You know how nothing ever really happens when you expect it to, and then there's this perfect timing where now's the time to just not on YouTube, but to the outside world. I've exhausted my family with this. Because it's I don't know how it's like, I mean, I do know how people can't see it. I do understand how my family can't see it. How nobody can really see it. But if you're still watching this channel, you can see things clearly. And if you can't see things clearly, then you're still here. You're an agent, or you're just a troll, because there's no legitimate reason why anybody would continue to watch my channel if that was the case. Like, if you don't agree, if people don't agree with me, what do you don't you just not watch? I thought that's the way it is. Matter of fact, it's always been the way it is. It's just people won't. You can't admit it. You have to swear to secrecy. So it must suck to be you. But me, on the other hand, if I don't like what somebody's saying, then I do not watch them. I know. Right? I know. What were you just thinking in your head? Why am I watching Jonathan Kleck? Go ahead and you can admit it. You can admit that I know what you're thinking. You can. Why do I watch Jonathan Kleck? You seem to not be able to. You can't stand him, you know. Well, that's true. I can't stand his deeds and all the other false prophets. It's such a sickening, disgusting, vile mentality that I can't believe that they would continue to just. I mean, they are going so hard against the grain of God that it's unbelievable. Like, you can't even make this stuff up. But that's because they never had experiences where God has, punished you. You've never been punished by God. So that's why you're blind and you don't think anything is going to take place, because you never see God do anything. It's like, we covered up his entire sky. He didn't do shit. He ain't doing anything. We are going to rule this world. That's fine. You're supposed to think that way. I'm supposed to have the faith that where the top position is, the top positions, over the past 8 years, God has been working in these people's hearts to change them. He's done some things in their life that they were aware that God is for real, mainly because they're surveilling the 144. The main people in charge, like Steve and the rest, they've been watching God's people unfold, and in the beginning they had such a despised hatred towards Christians and hypocrites, because that's what you guys are. And then they start seeing them and seeing that, well, man, we would do a lot. Just the way the businesses ran, period, we would do a lot better with them in charge. And then on top of that, they're not so bad. They're actually more intelligent than the dumbasses we have working with us. So can you imagine how much more safe the world is when you have the right eyes watching what you need to watch, and getting rid of the perversion of watching people that you don't need to. It's time to start straightening people's asses up, and it begins in high places. So with those people like Kleck that are so oblivious because he's playing Lucifer, the principality of the air. He has the control. At first I thought he didn't know that the sky was covered. Now I know, I get it, because he's acting as a star. He's letting you know Sunday, whether it's this Sunday, the 13th, and then Monday into the 14th, or the following Sunday, the 20th, because that's when the Eagles play the Cowboys at Texas, and then Monday into the 21st. It's one or the other. But I have a feeling that Philly has to get hit first, and then it'll get hit last. It gets hit. If there's 3 in a row, and that included the church fire, because after all, the pet goat to Obama in the classroom, he is right next to a building with fire. And that is representing Kleck, the Antichrist, and same thing with Steve. But the mole is representing Kleck and Obama. So I know that Kleck is the top candidate, the top runner-up for who wants to be America's Next Top Side. And then I also know that Stephen James is going to pull the rug out from under him. I know that to be a fact. Kleck doesn't know that. Steve knows it. I know it. Steve knows it. And Kleck doesn't. And same thing with Steve. I've gotten on the 3 beasts. There's 3 beasts. There's Trump, there's Kleck, and there's SJD. They're the 3 beasts. They're the 3 top Messiah candidates. The most famous is Trump, obviously. The second most famous is Kleck. And then the one that's really taking that role and hiring, the one that has the script written for those 2 clowns is Steve. Because he's the one that's really has been promised that role. And again, if the real Messiah doesn't appear, then SJD is going to be our Messiah and the Antichrist, and we're going to have to live in a system with him. That's if God hasn't already changed the heart of the main individual that has the decision to make in the end. Once the unwritten season begins and we go into perdition, because the 21st and the 22nd of October is going into perdition. It's a 10-day perdition. It's a 21-day perdition, actually. Just to be safe, 21 days, because they had to play out their first 21 days. I've come across the 3 top messiahs in the world, and it doesn't matter if I like at one point I remember Steve made me so sick. I didn't even watch 66% of the videos he was making back then last year because I was so disgusted. I'm like, the fuck is wrong with this dude? He just won't go away. Like, who are you? Why would you even be bothering me? And then now I get it. I understand why. I know why. So the same reason why he will not miss one of my videos, I will not miss one of his. Unless he deletes it real fast and I don't have time to watch it. Or record it. Save it for later. Because what I get out of his videos is what the frick is going to happen in the world. Same thing with Kleck. And for any of you idiots out there, alright, I'm just flat out, if you can't fucking see what Kleck is, then fine. Fine. You will see it, that's all. There's no threat, there's no... I can promise you, you'll see it, you'll understand. But there's no threat. I'll just be slightly irritated at you for being stupid, and I don't even know who yous are really. I mean, there's certain accounts. That's all that you could tell that they're still hiding as an agent. They won't admit it because again, if you're still watching my channel and you're just so fed up with what I gotta say, just don't watch. I watch Jonathan Kleck. I watch Stephen James' show, and I pay attention to Trump because these guys are the ones that are. I mean, they are the messiahs. Why would you not pay attention to the Messiah? Why would you not? I mean, keep track of what they're doing and saying, because everything that Kleck has been talking about, it comes to pass. The Hoover Dam's going to explode. Obviously, New York's going to get hit with a tsunami. That's so easy. It's a given. The shootings here at the start in Philadelphia, as he was making his, because it had his name written all over it. Those 3 events before Kleck and Spears made the video. I mean, the events happened after they made the video, but they made it talking about Philadelphia. And then the shooting happened in Philadelphia, talking about the Church of Philadelphia as he's the angel and the church burns down. Talking about the Home Depots. And then there's a shooting in Midland, Texas, in Odessa, over there where Kleck lives. And that was the last event, which leads perfectly into tit for tat in Philly. One last event in Texas, right where Kleck is, because he's representing Texas as he's trying to take over Philadelphia as a fraudulent angel. And then he has, from that point on, he has 40 days to present all of his evidence with his stupid little ass booklet and the shit that he talks about, going and talking to God, like driving to an alleyway and then talking to God. Newsflash, Kleck. If you really had a communication set up with God, you talk to him as you think in your head, period. 24/7. You don't need to go anywhere and do anything to talk to him. If someone is amputated, they have no arms and legs and they can't get anywhere, do you think they're going to hobble to the frickin' to an alleyway in order to talk to God because they can't do it there? God's getting ready to talk to you, Kleck. He's been talking to you. You just haven't been listening. He's been screaming at you. You just haven't heard anything. Because the way God screams at you is silent. It pierces through your heart is what it does. You don't hear any audibles, any audio at all. But I was driving down the street, I seen this pamphlet. It was like, oh my goodness, it was like, it was like up in the air like this, and it would look like a bird or a plane. I wasn't sure what it was, but it was at 200. I went into Dunkin' Donuts the other day, right? And I was eating number 200 to get my coffee, and I ordered it on 10/7 at 1:01:02 p.m. It's like, oh my goodness, doesn't that mean I'm the Messiah just by this receipt alone? I think so. And on Building 8, it said 17th and John F. Kennedy Boulevard. It said $200. And it's like if you sign up for a checking account, something like that. I don't waste any of my time whatsoever. Every second. Well, yeah, no, I'm sorry, I do. I waste my time at work. But I try to use all my time that I can. Like, as I need to take care of Kleck and hear what he's saying, I'll do the timestamps as I'm listening, driving, doing, I'm risking my life, basically, is what I'm doing. to get that information out to everybody before everything is shut down, so you can see and hear everything that's going to happen and then see it unfold, because I'm getting my information from God because he's revealing the frauds to me. He's giving me the frauds to evaluate. He puts them in front of me, and then I'm able to see, because it's pretty easy to just, everything they're saying now, it's like the opposite. Everything's opposite. Everything they're saying that they are, they aren't. So I don't have to say, like, stop watching me if you don't like it, because you can't stop watching, but you will. The channel will be shut down, and all these things will happen here in Philly. They're going to tell you that they're going to tell you that Philly's destroyed. I mean, again, you're going to have to deal with, all right, well, was Robin, was he on to something, or did they just blow him up with the star? Is he dead? Did he really die? Like, because we're going to hear about, Guam's going to get destroyed. It's going to get bombed. Hawaii's going to erupt with a volcanic eruption. That's going to be the lake of fire. And Alaska's probably going to be completely annihilated with earthquakes or something, just like California. Philly's getting destroyed with a star. New York's getting hit with a tsunami. They're going to destroy that. Florida, it's the whole East Coast. The water's going to come after us like a flood, but the earth is going to open up their mouths. And the water comes after us like a flood out of the serpent's mouth for a times and a half. It does come out for 3.5 years, but at the end, the flood is 3.5 days. So when there's no power whatsoever, there's nothing. There's no power. We were told whatever. When they cut off your power, you're going to be told that North Korea shot a missile that hit the EMP and shut it down. So if you can't see who Kleck is, you're a Kleckite. You're a Kleckite, plain and simple. If you get offended at me coming after him and just exposing every single possible detail about him, well, then you fit right into the Bible where many will be offended in these days. Now, I remember Steve was getting really offended and fitting that Bible prophecy like that, but then I realized he's only acting. Once I realized he's only acting, the anger just went away. It left, because now I understand the entire purpose of what he's even doing. Kleck, he's not fully acting right now. He is severely delusional. I know. See, I know what you're thinking, the evil ones, the non-believers. I'm delusional, right? Isn't that the first thing that popped in your head? Like, you're delusional, Robin. It's too easy to, it's the way the human brain works. Everybody has the same brain. It functions the same way. It's just, but you're the one in control of how you maneuver your thoughts. If you can't maneuver your thoughts and you're weak-minded, you're just like everybody else that can be easily predictable. And your thoughts are basically scrolling. It's like a person that's so easily readable, they might as well have a screen with their thoughts just running across, telling you exactly what they're thinking. So, man, for the past 2 years, basically 2 years. Yeah, it is 2 years. I've been on, I figured out who Stephen James DeShawn is for the past 2 years. And man, if I wasted my time, like what would I do if I found out all of a sudden that Steve is just a poor suffering servant, just a flunky, just like the masterpiece of crap conspiracy, Satan in the flesh loser that can't wait until I die and he can't wait to take my wife and then get rid of my kid. But I don't understand. Aren't you gay? Like I don't know. Or maybe you go both ways. I guess that's what it is. But you can't wait until I die. And so it's just like, if people were all leading me in the wrong direction, and I'm wasting my time, and my channel gets shut down, and life just continues on as it always is, fine, whatever. Fine. That is not the case. And everybody's going to see it. Like, Steve knows behind the scenes. I can only imagine being him at the moment right now, where everything I've said, only he truly knows, right? Only because he has a script, and God. Okay, not him and Kleck. God knows, the creator of everything, because this has already been done, and the ones that have the world script. I have an idea, like 90% of what the world script is doing. The dates they're here, they're in between the next 22 days, and then just extend the next 40 days, because it's going to be 40 days. It's going to be up until 11/11 is what it is. Until the Open Sky Treaty, at the very latest, the Open Sky Treaty. But in the meantime, all hell's getting ready to break loose. Philadelphia will be destroyed in 1 hour. New York's going to be destroyed. I think Philly is last. I think Philly's last because, well, you got to get the latest updates here. Because if California, they're already shutting off the power, getting ready to, mainly because all of Hollywood is, the actors all live in California anyway, so they already know it's the bunker call. It's the bunker call. This weekend is bunker call. So they're getting ready to shut that down, but everybody's going in their bunkers and they're going to be watching the movie, the scariest movie ever. That's why Kleck is going to have so much time, because they get to watch this 24-hour-a-day movie for about 10 days straight. 7 days at the least. 10 days, 21 days at the most. Maybe 42 days at the most. It's a long movie. But here's the path that's wide and broad. The path to destruction. Here it is. You're looking at it. It's Philadelphia. It's Broad Street. All the way up here on the right is that airplane that's on the side of the street. Just like sitting there. I wonder if it's on a black pavement with white wings. So anyway, I love the fact that you can tell agents by the way that they scribe. The blind agents, because there's this tint of anger that has never left, like the land tiller. There's this anger that just there's a hatred for me. But guess what's going to happen in the end? The ones that hated me the most, I'm going to have such compassion for you afterwards. And that's the shame that the shame, because it's real. It's real. My feelings are real. What Kleck is saying is bullshit. What he's saying is what is the experiences that happens with me. It's the way that I feel about people. He does not give two shits about you. Unless you can like tickle his feet or something, or make him giggle, or tickle him with a feather under his underarms, something like that, then he'll love you. Other than that, if you're not doing something for him, he don't love you. You guys have been coming against me since I started. I just didn't know it. I didn't know at first what trolls and agents were. Then I found out full circle. Now I can tell how you guys strive. You're an agent. You have hatred towards me because I set dates and because I think I know what's going on. Well, that's because I do know what's going on. And the dates are going to come, and it will pass by with the event attached to the date. And then when the shame settles in, here's when the shame settles in. When Philadelphia is destroyed. Then you have to think, well, wait a minute. Was Robin right? Is it all miracle signs and wonders and TV bombs like he said from the beginning of time? Before I hopped on YouTube, I had the script. Going into YouTube, I dissected the script and understood it clearer. Now towards the end, as I hop off of YouTube and I'm finished with my testimony, I've hopped on YouTube with the script and then left YouTube understanding the script. So when you hear that Philly's destroyed, I'm dead, right? I'm dead. I'm not here anymore. All Elite Wrestling, huh? Yeah, All Elite Wrestling. Then that's when you're going to wrestle with the thoughts of, well, if he was right, then that means he's still alive. And he was right the entire time, and we gave him this problem. All this time, we were deceived because our boss tried to make it seem like Robin is an alien. In the end, as ridiculous as Paul Begley saying that God is talking to he's in collusion with Trump, and angelic beings with angels' wings were seen going in and out of over office. It's to that point. So just understand how ridiculous. I don't even think this show is going to be what it's all cracked up to be. I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be cheesy. I think it's going to be exactly like a Hollywood movie, freaking cheesy. But we'll see. I'm hoping that it's the most scariest movie ever. Because Halloween is like the last day of their tactics, right? And everybody's going to be, MSN13 gang. They're going to all be out wearing masks and running around and trying to scare people and banging on their doors and everything when the power's out. That kind of stuff. Some of them will probably get shot, dead. But a lot of people probably will. Because if you're going around trying to cause terror to people, you're probably going to get shot. But if you stay where you are and wait for the fury to pass, you'll be fine. But that's why the military is being activated. They're being activated. They're getting ready for the major catastrophe that's going to happen in the world, right here in America first. But yeah, I know we've heard this before. It's whatever. You understand? It's the 7th and of the 8th year since we were warned about God's judgment that started. Harold Camping. I love it. I love that I irritate people beyond belief when I say that name. It's only because you're blind and stupid. No other reason. If you can't see that someone's telling you the truth, then you're blind and you're stupid. And I could say that because there were people that I was blinded to, and I was stupid because I believed that they were telling the truth. I didn't know so many people were lying their asses off until I hopped on YouTube. Thank God for that. Thank God that I only had to be on YouTube for 30 months and then hop my ass off. 30 months and 30 months. Let's see, and 8 days. Yeah. 10 tops. That would be the 12th. 10, 13, the 15th tops. 15th is the top. That's it. That's the cutoff. So it could be 30 months and 13 days, tops. That's all I have to do. As so many people have said, I'm wasting my time, wasting my time. If I'm wasting my time, you're wasting your time watching me. Who's the dummy? There's no time wasted. There's driving to work for an hour or a half. Push record, start talking to myself. I would be talking to myself anyway. I send this video off saying things that I believe are going to happen beforehand, and then they will, and they have, and it's already in play. There's no time wasted. I go home, when I put all the information together, I'm not wasting my time delivering truth to the people that need to hear it, because now you can pick it apart yourself. How many of you can now understand the patterns? It's an algorithm that, I don't know, it's like your brain is a computer, and it absorbs all the information, and then it filters out what it needs to. So when people are talking a bunch of bullshit, you're filtering it out to the point where it's the flowing water that just drips down like an IV, and it's healing because it's truth. You're seeing it. So now there's the pattern of the script that they give you, the bits and pieces, the timelines. When they talk about feet, it's really days. You know, the length of something, the height. The 9th, 9, 10, 13, 14, and I believe 22. There's a Dadabu 7 guy over there. There's a timeline that he did his last video. Just look it up. It's like Hillary 13 cents and something, and Bernie Sanders 9. It's like referring to dates. Like what Bernie Sanders has. Well, he has something against California on the 9th, and Hillary has something on the 3rd. Like her script is played out on the 13th, just like Kleck's first and second woe is being played out, and Steve's final woe is destroying Philadelphia in 1 hour. I think that's what it is. But now there's these patterns that you can see yourself when these mouthpieces all collaborate together. Like talking about 9/11 after 9/11 that has already passed. That was last month. But I seen it. I seen that they were gonna do something 9/11 30 days later. The proof is the video's there. You just have to be patient and wait for it to pass. People are just too impatient. It's like, well, I don't see anything, Robin. Just wait, okay? You'll stand in shame. Trust me. You will.